Hello, everyone. In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips on how to grow a ton of sweet potatoes in a pallet like this. Let's get started. In our subtropical climate, sweet potatoes are one of the few vegetables that you can grow all year round, unlike regular potatoes, which can only be grown at certain times. Did you know that sweet potatoes are not related to potatoes? In fact, they are a member of the morning glory family, a climbing plant that is more famous for its flowers than its tubers.
I don't know about you,
But in my group, morning glory means something completely different. But let's not talk about that. However, we've been growing sweet potatoes for over a decade, and I've only seen them flower a handful of times. But we don't grow sweet potatoes for their flowers. And although the leaves are edible and can be used like spinach, we mainly grow this wonderful and easy-to-grow plant in our backyard for its delicious and nutritious tubers. Tip number 1. Propagation. Here is a sweet potato cutting that I have been growing in a pot for about 3 or 4 weeks. Some popular sweet potato varieties include white skin with white flesh, purple flesh, and 2 others, orange flesh and red or purple skin with white flesh. I haven't noticed much of a difference in flavor between the orange sweet potato varieties and these white flesh varieties, except that the orange ones may be a little smaller and the white flesh with red or purple flesh varieties tend to root better, which is what I get. There are many ways to start new sweet potato plants. You can use a whole sweet potato like this. This is how we start growing sweet potatoes. Just buy one from the store and plant it in the garden bed. It will spread quickly. You can also start growing a sweet potato in a pot and then plant it out when it grows well, or put a sweet potato in a container or glass with a little water, and after about a month it will sprout from many places. Then you can harvest what they call cuttings, which are like cuttings to form many new plants. Sweet potato cuttings are very easy. You can plant them directly in the garden and water them well. They will root and grow well. Or put the cuttings in a pot of soil, and they will grow quickly. If we need new propagation materials, we just plant the cuttings in pots and plant them where we want, such as recyclable items like old tires, sacks. Tip number 2. Planting. You can grow sweet potatoes in raised beds or in containers. I think sweet potatoes are easy to grow, but in some climates like ours, subtropical, they grow so well that they are difficult to control. This vigorous growth habit is something to consider if you plan to grow sweet potatoes with other plants. Sweet potatoes grow best in full sun, but can also grow well in light shade. In cool or cold climates, grow sweet potatoes as an annual during the hottest part of the year. You can let the sweet potato vines climb a trellis or spread across a garden bed. If you have a large enough garden, let the sweet potato vines spread, as they are a good weed suppressant, and growing them on a trellis can provide unnecessary shade for other plants. An important tip is to let the sweet potato vines spread, allowing them to take root elsewhere and develop tubers, which will yield more tubers. Tip number 3. Loose soil. Soil will compact over time, so make sure it is loose and rich in organic matter.
soil that is waterlogged will create
Over-fertilization will result in lots of leaf growth on the top, but not many tubers. Loose soil with plenty of nutrient-rich organic matter is the best way to start growing sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes tend to grow close to the surface, but hard soil can also kill the plant, and it is susceptible to pests and diseases. Tip number 4. Pest control. Worms are not usually a big problem for sweet potatoes, but animals and some insects like slugs and stem borers can affect sweet potatoes. Don't worry about grasshoppers or caterpillars eating and damaging the leaves. You can use an organic chewing insect spray and just spray it on the leaves, but 99% of the time, the plant will survive well even with heavy insect damage. Sweet potatoes are one of the most pest-resistant plants and can be grown in the same location for several consecutive seasons. Tip number 5. Harvesting. You need to choose the right time to harvest. It takes at least 4 to 6 months to harvest sweet potatoes, depending on the climate and the variety of sweet potato you grow. During this process, make sure the sweet potato plants get enough water and sunlight. A good sign that they are ready is when the leaves start to turn yellow and dry. When you see this sign, get your gardening tools ready to harvest. When harvesting, carefully dig up the potatoes with a small hoe, gently lifting the soil around them so as not to break or scratch the skin. Try to avoid using too much force because potatoes are fragile. If you have done everything right, your reward will be plump, brightly colored sweet potatoes. After harvesting, you should leave the sweet potatoes in a cool, dry place to dry naturally. This will enhance the flavor and preserve them for a longer period of time. I recommend that you do not wash the potatoes immediately. Just shake off the dirt and leave them in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight for a few days. This process is called curing the potatoes and is very important because it helps heal small scratches on the potato skin, while enhancing the flavor and extending the storage time. After being cured, the sweet potatoes will have a firmer skin, retain moisture better, and you can use them for many days. If you want to preserve sweet potatoes for a long time, after they have been cured and dried, store them in a cool, dark, and temperature-controlled space. Avoid storing potatoes in the refrigerator because the cold temperature can damage their natural structure and position. You can store potatoes in wooden crates, bamboo crates, or cloth bags to help them breathe well, keeping them from steaming. With careful care, your sweet potatoes can stay fresh for many months, and you will always have the ingredients available to prepare dishes. Finally, enjoy the sweet fruits of your labor. Sweet potatoes can be prepared in many different ways: roasted,
Soft, crispy,
or even made into attractive desserts such as sweet potato pie or pudding. The delicious flavor and rich nutrients from your homegrown sweet potato flours will definitely make your meals more special and memorable. Wishing you wonderful culinary experiences and joy from your garden. Thank you for watching this video. I hope my sharing will help you have a bumper sweet potato season and preserve the potatoes in the most effective way. Remember, gardening is not only a job but also a joy, an act to connect with nature and enjoy the fruits of your efforts. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Wish you a happy and energetic gardening day.
Sow seeds in the ground, see the joy spread. Sprouts, sprouts, greet the new day of blooming. Hands covered in mud, heart filled with excitement. Plant trees with your own hands, add a green color. Plant cool trees, life becomes more joyful. Bright smiles, filled with love. Plant today, see the sprouts tomorrow. Take care of the big trees, add green to our life. Every morning at dawn, watch the trees grow. Hear the birds chirping like a familiar greeting. Garden together each day becomes more meaningful. Live green every day, full of vitality. Every morning at dawn, watch the trees grow. Hear the birds chirping like a familiar greeting. Garden together each day becomes more meaningful. Live green every day, full of vitality.